Hello everyone and welcome to yet another episode of Mentos Plays Infinity Wars. As you can see here in this side over here, one of our starter requests is to play 3 merge deck games. I actually played the first of those last night, but I figured I might as well record me looking for and playing the others today. So we are going to look at unranked. We're going to host a merged game. No other rules really matter, and we're going to use our test Veror deck, which is one that I have added a few miscellaneous cards to. Whether that's a good thing or a bad thing, I don't know. That's why it's a test. But we're going to just wait for a couple seconds. We got a game already, which is good. There isn't a huge community in the game just yet, but games do tend to load up pretty quick, so there's nothing to be really too complaining about. We get to pick our three... we get to pick our three... what's it called? Commanders here, which we are going to pick these two, and why not a Death Worshipper. And then we are going to start playing. What is this? This is Genesis Scavenger. He gains 4 materials at the end of the turn is in your support zone. He uses up all the materials and repairs your fortress for 1 health for each material used. That's really good. We're going to play this dude since he's 1 and he goes straight to the attack zone. Might as well. He got the exact same thing as well. So the big thing with merge deck mode is that you are both getting a combination of the two decks. You aren't just playing the deck that you've designed. You're playing a combination deck that both of you are playing at once. So you have to kind of play on the fly in terms of what you get instead of being able to simply know what you're expecting in your deck. So we're going to wait for him to end his turn here. What is Veror Kidnapper, by the way? When you play Veror Kidnapper... Oh, he did that to my Kidnapper. That's not cool. Okay, and then we got... let's see. We could play... against the Flame Dawn. Return target creature on battlefield with base cost of 7 or less resources to its controller's hand. We're going to save that for now. Instead, we're going to play up a Battlefield Scavenger, and that'll be it for this turn. He plays a Flame Dawn Footman times 2. That's kind of scary, actually. So, if we can get this land card activated, that'll be awesome for us, because that means that you can only attack once per turn, which is, of course, a very huge benefit. We want to... play this card. We are going to target this one, and then we are going to play that guy to the defensive zone, end our turn. And he did play up his other dude there, which I didn't actually expect all that much. So we do take 4 damage, unfortunately, which gives him 4 materials towards repairing his fortress. But we also have the ability to... what does this guy do? Is he just a regular dude? Yeah, he's just a regular guy. So we're going to play him. We're going to move this one over here, just for the sake of blocking a little bit of damage. And very soon we're going to be able to keep him at bay by just keeping 1 defender in place and blocking the damage that he does with that. In the meantime, we're going to take some damage, but next turn, a single defender will be able to prevent him from doing a whole lot of damage to us. So we do manage to kill that guy of his, but he's going to do another 6 damage to us. Not too concerning, because now we get to play our location, and then we are going to put this guy in the offensive zone, this guy in the defensive zone, and end our turn for now. So now he has no way to do damage to us so long as we keep a single beast or a single character inside the defensive zone, which is of course a big play for us. It's going to make it a lot easier to keep him at bay and make it a lot easier for us to make some good things happen. We're of course slowly building up our Veror Death Eater that I chose as one of my commanders, which is a big plus. I could have alternatively used the Heat Wave to do 1 damage to all his characters and kill the one that was on the board, but I think that getting this location out, even though it's going to cost us 2 morale each turn, is going to be a big help for us. It's definitely going to give us a better ability to get our way into, and to get a foothold into getting a lead on him. So we're going to wait for him to end his turn. It looks like he's making a lot of decisions right now. Slowly but surely, we will soon be seeing this move on to the next phase. There we go. He plays a couple things. So unfortunately that one guy is flying, and flying can surpass my location. So he is going to have that killed, and then he is going to manage to attack us. But we do some damage to his fortress. We get one of these guys, which I like. It does 8 damage to the fortress if it's not blocked. We are going to play Heat Wave as part of our turn, and then we are going to play Flame Ram, and then we are going to end our turn. And so we do need a way to get rid of that flyer as soon as possible, because he's the only thing that's going to be able to really hit us at the moment. Other than that, we're just going to be focusing on slowly but surely wearing his defenses down. Presumably I could have played the Beast of Burden instead of the Flame Ram, so that I could have a little bit extra power there, but at the same time I think that the decision that was made is one that works quite well as well. Got some Monopoly pieces in my hand from McDonald's. Always a good thing. Except not usually, because you usually don't win anything worthwhile, but you know what I mean. So we're still waiting. Heat Wave goes off. That kills one of his characters. Deal 2 damage to target characters in the combat zone. That sucks. And then we are going to use Alita here's activity. Alita here's active effect to kill this flyer. You're going to play the Beast of Burden down, and we're going to take a risk and go for the attack here. So let's see how this shakes out once he makes his play. We'll have one more of these merge deck games that we have to play after the current one to get the quest. Depending on how long this match goes on, we might not see any more. Time left. 3 minutes and counting. Except not counting at all. Just staying there patiently at 3 minutes. Forever. So we do have a 6/6 Death Worshipper on the board, which is awesome for us. We can play that out there at any point that we choose to. He's going to be 7/7 after this turn, unless something goes horribly wrong. Still waiting. It's a bad thing about when you make your turns quick, is that if the other person is trying to think through their options, then you've got to kind of sit around and wait for them to make the decision. But right now, I think that we are in a very good position. He is probably going to kill my tank there, but that doesn't really bug me, honestly. Okay, what's this guy? This guy is... Bad Bod cannot attack or block. So that's good for if you have some of the other cards from that faction in your deck, but for what we've got, not very useful. We're going to make a bet that he is going to keep him in the combat zone. Then we are going to play our Beast of Burden to the defense zone to absorb any damage, and we're going to play this guy out here, and we're going to end our turn. So if all goes well on this turn, he won't move his dude there back into the support zone. That'll die to Alita, and then we can do a nice 77 damage to his fortress with our Death Worshipper. It's interesting to play these kind of games. You have to kind of adjust on the fly to what your deck gives you. You can't really have a plan of attack going in. He's going to play Rita's Thrall into his support zone. He did move him back, so unfortunately our effect doesn't do anything there. He uses Alita on my Beast of Burden, which is unfortunate, but we do get to do a nice 7 damage to his fortress. This guy costs 1. We will go ahead and play him. And we might as well load up on... You know what, we're going to take a risk here. that he is going to play Rita's Thrall down. And then we are going to play another Death Worshipper and end our turn. So yeah, this 4 cost card is really not that useful to us because we don't necessarily have the card anytime soon that's going to make him useful. But if we do get Demon of Gluttony, he could make a good sacrifice, or if we get the card that's in the deck that will help with that, obviously that'll be a big thing. The other one that it's useful for is if we want to pay 3 resources to shuffle it back into the deck and then draw a new card, which is of course beneficial in its own right. I'm debating if I should take the mouse cursor off the screen, just because I know it's kind of distracting, but I also feel like it's a lot easier to tell what's going on in a game like this when you have the mouse cursor up. So I might have that off there by the next video. I'm not entirely sure just yet. He plays a Roar Brute, and he moves those guys both down. That's perfect. He does do 3 damage to my Beast of... Oh. Well, he can still only do 1 attack, so that's not too concerning. We're still up on him. And we are going to... Let's see. Do we want to risk that he's going to keep the Thrall in play? We do. And then we want to play 2 more Death Worshippers. We want to put this guy over here, because he can easily block a tiny bit of damage and be enough to make it so that we cannot take any damage ourselves this turn. If he doesn't move anything to the defense zone, we're going to do a whole 10 damage to him, and hopefully he won't do any to us. Obviously he might, but it's going to depend on what he's chosen to do this turn. I really wish I was getting more of my killer cards, because those would be hugely useful in this situation. But unfortunately, we haven't gotten very many spells just yet. So we're going to wait for him to make his next play. Waiting. I do tend to play this game myself pretty quickly. I tend to make a plan while I'm waiting for things to resolve, and only really change it if something unexpected happens. So I do tend to know what I'm going to play when I start the turn, not so much having to figure it out as the turn goes on. I think he's struggling with the decision of how to deal with the fact that he can only attack me once per turn. So if he's smart, he's going to... Oh, he moved both of those back to the defense zone there. He is going to kill my strong Death Worshipper, unfortunately. Well, that was a waste of Alita's effect, because he just didn't even accomplish anything that wouldn't have been done otherwise with it. We do get a Death Ray. We want to play both of these guys out here. We want to... How do we want to do this? We could activate Alita's effect. We're going to make a bet that he puts this dude back out here. And then we are going to play this Mortar Cannon, and that'll be the end of our turn here. You know, the fact that there's only 1 track in the game for gameplay is kind of, it gets to you after a while, like, okay, I'm listening to the same thing again. But it is a catchy track in its own right. So he is thinking. Of course, there are options as well for game speed differences, where you can change up how fast things are going to move. So that is something to consider, as well as that we could play on faster game speeds that would make it so that turns didn't take quite so long. We do get Demon of Gluttony. This makes me very happy. We're going to play him. We are going to... We can't activate her ability. Oh, we only have 1 resource. That's right. Okay, so we're going to play the Demon of Gluttony and hope that he doesn't have any Death Rays or Assassinates or anything like that in his deck. Well, he might have them in his deck, but as long as he doesn't have them in play this turn, we're in decent shape. So this location card is pretty much the lifeblood of my deck, in that it prevents the enemy from overwhelmingly attacking you, it forces them to just be able to slowly tick away at you instead of being able to fully do a lot. So he did play down his scavenger dude, and he killed that, so we're going to take 4 damage to our fortress. We're only going to do 2. This is a very close game right now. We can use this for sure, which will allow us to do 1 damage to everything he's got on the field, which is going to kill most of it. We're going to play our Demon of Gluttony up here. We're going to play this dude, sacrifice him for Demon of Gluttony, and we are going to end our turn there. It seems like a good turn to me. He could play his Varroa Kidnapper and send my Demon of Gluttony back to my hand, which would be very unfortunate. Hopefully he doesn't make that move. We can cross our fingers at least. So if this works out, we're going to do 12 damage to his fortress, and could kill him on the next turn if all goes well. If we hadn't played the guy to sacrifice him, if we had just played off our Varroa Death Worshipper, we could have activated the Mortar's ability and done an extra 4 damage, but I don't think that would have been necessarily the best choice. So now he's going to be kind of unhappy that, okay, he did play his Varroa Kidnapper and put that back in my hand. But we're going to Heat Wave, we're going to destroy all his cards, so that's a plus. Or wait, did he put that in my hand or back into my deck? I thought it was back into your hand. So we can play Unending Drone. You know what, we should actually play Alita down here as defense. There's my guy back in my support zone, so he'll be ready next turn. In the meantime, we're going to fire our Mortar Cannon, and we are going to play this Unending Drone up into our support zone and end our turn. So that was a big swing, although it didn't work out exactly as I had planned it to. We did manage to wipe out a large amount of his cards. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. He plays a Flame Ram. He is going to play both of those, which is just frankly quite foolish, because he's just going to lose his first card and not do enough damage to really bother my Alita. Although I guess he didn't know that Alita was going to be on the board at that point, so I guess it isn't really as foolish as it could have been. We are going to activate. We are going to sacrifice that. We're down to 3 morale, so we really need to make a huge play on this turn. We're going to risk that he's going to defend with that. And then we are going to assassinate this guy. And okay, so we're going to do 12 damage. We could kill him the next turn. But if he kills Alita, then we're done. We need a win on this turn. So you sacrifice this. Our actions are resolving before his. So we're going to move her back to the support zone so that she can't be targeted by his Alita. Just for extra sake of... Okay, we don't have enough resources to do that. So hopefully this is going to work out for us. We should do just enough damage to kill him on this turn. We might end up with a draw because his... Oh no, we have Reflective Shield active, so he can't actually do any kind of damage to us. He does Death Ray my Demon of Gluttony though, and that's going to end the game for us. So unfortunately we did lose that game after a hard-fought struggle, but it was a pretty well-played game, I think. So we get 0 IP for losing. We do get 250 experience. That was unfortunate, but I can go ahead and say good game. And you know what? I think we can handle one more merge deck mode game in here, which will be... You know what? Let's turn up speed to hyper. And we will host and see what happens. Of course, that could have gone very differently if he hadn't gotten that death ray right there. We would have been able to completely we would have been able to defeat him on that turn if not for the Death Ray. So it was a very close run of who was going to win that one. We're just going to wait for a game to load up here. This one's on hyperspeed, so we're going to have a little bit faster moving. We want to take... we're just going to take the 3 that we normally have. I don't know what any of the cards that he has are offhand, so I think it's the best decision to stick with the ones I know. So it seems like he has a DoD/Warpath deck, which is interesting to say the least. I think this is the first real cross deck that I've seen. He actually picked the same commanders as I did, which is interesting. So we got 5 resources already. That's huge. We're gonna go ahead and play. What is this guy? This dude is Breeding Grounds. So that can be. If we get 2 beast characters out, we can start to spawn them. We're going to play out this Sprite, and we're going to play out this Balanced Warrior. And that'll be it for this turn. I didn't realize we started with 3 resources in this run. Okay, so we get 2 more cards. It seems like a lot of... Ooh, this is a really good card I've added to my deck. Remove all characters from the game. So obviously not that useful when you are talking about... What is this? At the start of the turn is on the battlefield, you gain 1 extra resource. So you got 2 things that are giving us extra resources right now, which is huge in this early part of the game. We are going to activate Alita's ability on his Immortal Defender, and that will end it for our turn. Should we play this guy to defense? I think we're good for this turn. One of many. He's got his first of his beast characters out there. So that'll make sure that this guy dies this turn instead of still being out there. We are going to use... Shock is going to do 2 damage. We are going to use that on his one of many here. We are going to play Death Worshipper. So we could play 2 more Death Worshippers and take that route, or we could play or we could activate the Mortar Fire, which I think is a good decision, and that gives us 1 more Death Worshipper we can play, then end turn. We're already at 10 resources, so we can start not worrying so much about our Ghost there and our Noble. Pack Leader being on the field is scary. He is going to shock my Balanced Warrior. We shock his one of many. Mortar Cannon does 4 damage to his fortress. Okay, so now we can take a chance here if we want. We can kill all characters in the combat zone, or we can remove all characters from game. We are still gaining resources though, so I don't want to do that just yet. We're going to assassinate his pack leader. We will Death Ray his Beast of Burden, because I have a feeling that's going to get played down. And then we will play 1 more Death Worshipper. We will put this guy here and this guy here. Actually, you know what? No, we're not going to play 1 more Death Worshipper. We're going to activate this ability, play both these guys down here, and end our turn. He's got another Pack Leader in play, another Death Worshipper. And he didn't actually move any of them down, which is unfortunate. But it does mean that we're going to do 8 damage to him this turn, which is not bad. So essentially, our Calamity and Mass Death spells are going to be kind of last-ditch maneuvers in order to ensure that we can take him out. We're going to do that just in case he plays it down. Play another Death Eater. Death Eater? This is not Harry Potter. Death Worshipper. Okay, he does play everything down now, which is very, very good for me. You know, he's going to have a bit of damage this turn, but nothing that we can't handle. He's going to do 11 damage to us. That hurts, but it's not going to kill us. Those guys all balanced out exactly. So now, this only affects cards on the battlefield. This one right here. So anything that's on the support area is completely safe. So we are going to play another mortar. We are going to fire this one. We aren't going to play a... should we play a fireball? No, we're not going to play a fireball. We're just going to play this and end our turn. So now hopefully he plays more of those cards down. Let's see what he does here. This could be a huge turning point in this game. Especially considering how strong my one Death Worshipper commander would get if he were to play those 3 cards into the assault and defense zones and try to take me on head on. Well, he plays at least 1 card straight there. Oh, he did it. He did it. This is awesome. This is going to turn out so well for us. Mass Death is going to wipe out every one of his cards in the combat zone. It will. He healed his card that got destroyed. This worked out absolutely 100% the best it could have. So now we've got some interesting propositions to play with. We're going to play him. We're going to play him. We are going to Fireball Candid here, as well as use Heat Wave. We are going to play this dude straight to... or he can't go straight to defense. But we don't really need more resources, so we can play both of these down here. We could have activated both mortars, but I feel like it was a better decision to play the way we did. And let us end this turn. And things have massively swayed into our favor right here. Obviously we haven't won this yet by any means, but we're in a good position right now. So that's going to take out his Candid. And we are down to 8 health that he's got left. Let's use Assassinate on this guy. He's going to have to defend if he wants to survive. So we're going to block this one. And so we're going to target that one. And we will activate 1 mortar cannon. And we will play this dude down here. And that'll be it for our turn. And I think we just won this game, which will be our first win of the day, and I'll get some kind of reward for it. There is a chance that he can pull something off that'll prevent me from winning here, but chances are pretty high that we're going to win. We should have just fired both mortars, in all honesty. I just realized now that would have done the perfect amount of damage to kill him. But this is actually a much more fun way to do it, in my opinion, because he's going to get a... Oh. Okay, fair enough. You want to play that game, huh? You want to play my own game against me. I see how it is. But guess what, buddy? This does 4 damage to the enemy's fortress. We're going to double it up, just to be a dick. Just to be a dick. Take your best shot. Kill me, 39 damage in 1 turn. I dare you. I dare you. Ooh, he had the Calamity, too. That was actually a big play on his part. But we can play this one of many. He doesn't have that again. We're going to play... You know what, should we play that? No, let's play another Death Worshipper. And let's play this dude. And let's end our turn there. He's holding out better than I expected him to. He does have Demon of Gluttony now, but he doesn't have anything to sacrifice just yet. So it's not too worrisome. We can easily just go up here, take Assassinate, Assassinate Demon of Gluttony, and this is going to be the turn that we win, almost assuredly. But just in case, we'll play like, you know, he's going to have another trick up his sleeve. And let's see what happens here. I think that he's realizing now that he doesn't have a chance. Quite frankly, we got a 35 health advantage, a 27 point or a 18 point morale advantage. As soon as this Demon of Gluttony dies from Assassinate, he's done, honestly. He doesn't even have the ability to wait for my attack before he dies. So he is going to be like, Firebolt on my... Fireball on my Death Worshipper. Heat Wave to kill that thing. Oh no. Oh, look, there goes your morale. Sorry. My bad. So that was a well-played game. You know, I got a little bit lucky with my draws. It worked out well for me. And you know, it was a well-fought game between both of us. And so, oh yeah, the game from last night that I played actually counted as my one game, uh, one win for the day. So now we have a new quest replacing this. We have Silence is a Virtue, win a PvP game without using an ability card, overcome a 25-point health disadvantage and win a PvP game, and Haste Makes Waste is currently bugged and will be fixed in bugged and will be fixed in our upcoming patch on the 24th. /r/n/r/n win a PvP game in 8 turns or less. That would be pretty impressive, honestly. So let's go check out what our reward token here is. And we get a card which is Explore. If you do not control a location card, search your deck for a location card and put it into your hand. If you control a location card, draw 2 cards. That is a really great card for my deck. Holy cow. Let's go ahead and just go, where is Explore? Explore, explore, explore. Where are you? Where are you? Where are you? We're just going to immediately add this to the deck. It is going to make our deck a little bit bigger, but a 4-star card that is going to be able to get my location out quicker is a huge boon to me. So now we can make it so that only one character without flying can attack each turn a little bit easier. We have about a 100% increase in the chance of getting a card that'll let us do that. But anyway, this episode ended up about the perfect length. I know that there's a bit of downtime in this game. I hope that's not too annoying. I hope that the gameplay itself is satisfying enough to watch. Let me know in the comments. Let me know if you think that this is a game that I shouldn't really try to let's play, or if you think that I should keep it up. I definitely enjoy the game and will play it either way, but let me know what you think about it. And for now, thank you for watching. Everyone have a good day, night, evening, whenever it may be. And I will see you